CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, April 27, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. There has been a ship collision near Istanbul, Turkey, in the Black Sea. Apparently a Russian spy ship of some size, if you look at the photos that are on the internet. The spy ship is called the Liman, L-I-M-A-N, has a hole in it as a result of a collision that occurred last night about 25 miles northwest of the Bosphorus Strait in the Black Sea. The ship collided with a Togo flagged vessel called the Uzarif H. It was fog and low visibility conditions that were in place at the time. There may be as many as 15 Russian military personnel missing from the ship. The ship is sinking. This is what's being reported by a number of sources right now. Of course, it's well into the day in Turkey right now, so there should be much more information coming shortly. The big French reinsurer and insurer SCOR reported first quarter operating results of about 149 million euros, down 37.7% from the same period last year. Missed the consensus estimates of analysts by about 13.9%. Their result was impacted by a pre-tax hit of 116 million euros from the UK government's decision to change the Ogden discount rate. This is one of the biggest amounts yet that we've seen as a result of the Ogden change. That change alone added about 9 percentage points to SCOR Global's property and casualties combined rate. SCOR also recorded about 3.5 points of reserve releases for Q1 2017, equal to about 45 million euros. They increased their gross written premiums in the P&C division by about 12%, and if Dennis Kessler has anything to say about it, which he does, that's good business. They have very tight underwriting controls there, so that bodes well. If you strip out the Ogden rate and reserve release impacts, the annualized return on equity would have stood at 12.2% in Q1 2017, which is pretty darn good. Marsh CEO Peter Zaffino's name has now appeared alongside that of his former boss at Marsh, who is now the head of Hamilton, Brian Duperrault, as a potential candidate for a role in the new AIG leadership team. Of course, nothing has officially been said by either Mr. Duperrault or Mr. Zaffino, but apparently Marsh is already lining up its current president as a successor to Zaffino if he departs for AIG. Duperrault has been repeatedly tipped as a potential replacement for AIG's departing CEO Peter Hancock. According to an analyst, Barclays analyst Jay Gelb, we would be surprised if Brian Duperrault was not named as the next CEO of AIG. Mr. Duperrault is 69 years old, so the discussion concerning Mr. Zaffino, who is younger, is viewed as very positive by analysts. Of course, it could be nothing, but it might be something. Speaking of Marsh McLennan, their reinsurance arm, Guy Carpenter, has generated a 4% underlying revenue growth for the first quarter of 2017. This would be organic revenue. These numbers just came out. We're still going through them. The result took Guy Carpenter's total revenue to $385 million for the quarter. A Houston-based company, Anadarko Petroleum, announced that a week after a fatal explosion in Firestone, Colorado, they're going to cut production, shut it down at 3,000 vertical oil wells in the area. There are 3,000 vertical oil wells in the Firestone, Colorado area. According to the Anadarko president, boards cannot express how saddened we are that 2 people were killed in this explosion. Anadarko confirmed that the company operates 3,000 units of an older model vertical well. One such unit, drilled by a previous contractor in 1993, was just 200 feet from the site where a home recently exploded. This was on April 17th, where the fatal incident occurred. Shutting the wells and investigating is expected to take as long as a month, costing Anadarko about 13,000 barrels of oil every day. Well, in Washington, D.C. yesterday morning, President Trump said that he was going to sign an executive order effectively giving notice to Mexico and Canada that the U.S. was pulling out of the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. By the time we went to sleep, he had spoken with the President of Mexico and the Prime Minister of Canada, and agreed to stay in NAFTA. And in fact, Trump said, "It's my privilege to bring NAFTA up to date through renegotiation. I believe that the end result will make all three countries stronger and better." Meanwhile, Wall Street was all enthused yesterday because of Trump's tax plan, which was released. Trump's tax plan included 260 words on an 8.5 by 11-page sheet of paper, outlining three separate rates of taxation for both corporate and individuals. Of course, anybody who follows Washington and knows Congress knows that one piece of paper, 8.5 by 11, is nothing insofar as what will have to be done to get it through Congress. The Chinese drone maker DJI is offering up to 1 million yuan, about 112,000 pounds, or about 150,000 US, for information about drones that disrupted scores of flight at the Chengdu International Airport. Chengdu is a city of about 12 million people. On 4 days in April, the 14th, 17th, 18th, and 21st, drones were blamed for stranding thousands of passengers. 60 flight disruptions on one day alone occurred. One expert said it showed how difficult it is to combat unsafe drone flights. No kidding. The public has until the 31st of December in order to report any information they may have. It's interesting that the drone maker is concerned about possibly having a ban on drones put in place on a national basis, so they themselves are stepping up to offer money to try to find the offenders. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.